The all-new Venom is here, and we don't know who is the new host, but he's got the gold plating just like we saw in Venom War. Right now, the likely suspects of the new Venom is either Mammy Maskew, Luke Cage, the mayor, Rick Jones, or Robbie Robertson. This is the all-new Venom issue 1. I absolutely love this introduction to this new Venom, the mystery behind it, and who is going to be Venom? Like, I'm wondering who. It's been about a year since the Game War incident, and Mammy Maskew now is on trial inside of a federal court building in New York City, and people are believing that she is Venom and she caused the Venom War situation 3 months ago. So she's practically on trial for 2 events. What's crazy here is that this is the first time ever that a federal trial is on TV. Yeah, the mayor, Luke Cage, is there to watch his federal court, of course, because he's the mayor. He needs to know what's going on in his city. And Robbie for the Daily Bugle, because right now he's like in charge of the Daily Bugle and what's going on about it, especially since the superheroes, the Anti-Vigilante Act is gone. The way that Robbie's acting, he seems like he wants vengeance for all the, events happening in New York. And I think the reader, or I should say the writer, wants the reader to think that this is Venom, but I don't think it is. But Rick Jones shows up to the trial as like a camera person, or I should say like a photographer for the Daily Bugle. And by the way, he's wearing a Marvel Comics t-shirt. Luke Cage shakes his hand. He's like, "Hey, I'm the mayor, Luke Cage." And Rick Jones is like, "Yeah, I know you. I think we met before, huh?" And I believe they met during the Mortal Hulk situation. But what Rick Jones says specifically is that, yeah, I was Hulk, Abomination, and Bucky Barnes, and something new. But that doesn't matter. That is giving me a hunch that he could possibly be Venom. The New York Federal Court lawyer is Kenneth right here, and he asks Dr. Harlan, which used to work for the AIM Corporation that teamed up with Madame Maskew during the Game War. Kenneth right here asks Dr. Harlan, is that Mammy Maskew? And he's like, 100%, that is her. This guy shows up named the Scientist Supreme, and he breaks down the trial. "I am Andrew Forson, AIM's one true leader." Luke Cage tells Rick Jones to grab Robbie and get the hell out of this trial before he dies. The Scientist Supreme is like, "Oh, hell not. Nobody's leaving this trial without me showing it an example for it." He can teleport and put like multiple copies of himself, and he was going to block the doorway, but Rick Jones is like, "Nah, we're going to take our chances." They're running right by it, and Rick Jones tells Robbie, "Go get some help, find a cop or anything, and we got to separate," which gives me an idea that Rick Jones is actually Venom. Luke Cage went to go punch Scientist Supreme and punches him in the mouth. But this Scientist Supreme, though, he can absorb kinetic energy and shoot it back, kind of like Bishop, and he shoots it at Luke Cage. Luke goes absolutely flying at the window and hitting the ground, as that was what we thought. When all of that was happening, Mammy Maskew puts a hole through the top of the ground right here where she was like in a cage and escapes. Then Venom shows up. I'm like, who could be Venom? Like, did Luke Cage just turn into Venom immediately, run jumping out the window? I don't think it's Mammy Maskew or Robbie. I think it's either Luke Cage or Rick Jones. It's just another symbiote monster. Kill it. That's kill them. We're not just a monster. We are Venom. Dr. Harlan puts a lot of information out there. He's like, he's not fighting like Gargan or Flash or Eddie or even Spider-Man. So this is definitely someone new. And this new Venom uses his symbiote and uses the kinetic energy getting shot back at him and puts like an airbag. Explodes all of the Scientist Supreme clones. Absorbs all that kinetic energy so we don't have to. Ooh, so close. He's like, a little Spider-Man in there, but mostly all Venoms have the, some Spider-Man techniques in there. Dr. Harlan right here is saying that it has to be the people that were in the courtroom. It can't be someone just like randomly just show up. So it's the suspects we've been talking about. Venom uses his weapon and put the Scientist Supreme down. The other clones try to grab Venom though and try to put him down, but it doesn't work. He puts it over his shoulder. For what it seems like, this Venom has some techniques. He's got judo, so I'm assuming he knows some like martial arts techniques. The Scientist Supreme grabs Dr. Harlan and dips. Warns Venom that like, hey, you should not mess with AIM, but now since you did, you're screwed. Make your threats, Forson. Translocating away like a whipping dog really sells them. You made our list, and that's your grave mistake, boys, because we are the all-new Venom. Now, the court goes back to normal, and everybody comes back to the courtroom, but Robbie's like, okay, something's odd here. You guys just got back too? Yo, guys, meet me outside. Let's talk in private. Robbie's like, listen, any of us could be suspects. Venom just showed up while we were all gone, and we need to get to the bottom of this. We find out what's been going on with Dylan ever since Venom War. He's actually, taking refuge with MJ and Paul. He's been doing a lot of research on who could be the new Venom, and he believes Mammy Maskew, Luke Cage, Robbie, and Rick Jones could be the new Venom. My symbiote, and I'm not gonna stop until I get Venom back.